We are at the Soaring Center at Ridgeland Airport in South Carolina. This is the Krosno KRO 3A. We're going to have a look round this aircraft, and later on we're going to fly it and see how it handles. It's a training machine from Poland, and it's largely metal construction with fabric behind the main spars and on the control surfaces. The aircraft has a swept forward configuration on the wings, which allows the pilot in the rear seat and the instructor to have a very good all-round vision. The swept forward condition is so that we can move the center of pressure forward to a good position in relation to the center of gravity, and it gives excellent view from the rear cockpit. All the attachments for the aileron and the push rods are very accessible and very easy to inspect, therefore. Here we're looking at the main gear and the skid, and I'm going to walk forward and push it down onto its nose. It's very well balanced when it's empty around the main gear, making access in and out of the front cockpit very easy, and we'll just show you what that's like. This is a head-on view of the aircraft showing the dihedral, and you can see that it's considerable. It gives good wingtip clearance on the ground and excellent stability in the rolling plane. Let's just go in a little closer and look at the frontal area. You can see an enormous canopy. You can see the hole for the pitot head in the nose, and just behind that the air tow hook position, and then the skid and leading back to the main wheel. We're now looking in the area of the air brakes. They produce a great deal of drag. Let's have a look at them. There they are coming out the wings. They come out of the upper and the lower surface, and they're very effective indeed. And you'll see this when we get in the air. We'll do a very steep dive with them deployed. This is a view into the cockpit, and we're going to go in and have a look at this rear seat adjustment, which is quite novel. It's very easily adjustable. You merely turn this device here, and you can lift the seat up and put it on a very short throw and then lock it again, or put it right down, and now it's back down on the bottom fitting, and that gives a great difference in the leg room and the arm room in this cockpit. So that's right back at the moment, and I can merely just twist this and raise it and put it right up there, and there clearly we're much nearer the controls. The front seat is non-adjustable, but the rudder pedals are adjustable by this device here, and we've got a slider which moves the rudder pedals over quite a reasonable distance, so we can accommodate very varying sizes of pilots in the front seat. This then is the canopy jettison lever. It's softwire locked to prevent people inadvertently opening it, and is accessible from the rear and the front cockpit. This is the front cockpit again. What we have here are the air brake lever, and we'll have a look at those brakes in a moment. They're really phenomenal, and it has an over center lock which is audible there. Below it on this side we have a spring balance trimmer, and you can see its effect on the control column right there, and below it probably the weakest part of this model, the wheel brake. But of course it has a good nose skid. Here we have the cable release, and above it the airspeed indicator, V&E marked as 107 knots. All the limitations are here, and the colour coding matches it, and we've also got that minimum approach speed triangle. Here we've got a turn and slip, which is not standard to the aircraft. Here we've got the PZL total energy variometer, which is plumbed into a diaphragm. All the limitations of the aircraft here. We've got a ventilator here which brings fresh air in onto the screen there, a compass with a course reminder and an altimeter. So that then is the layout of the front cockpit. On this particular glider we've also got the optional extra rear instrument panel, in which I've got a ball variometer repeater from this one here. Is that little mini rear instrument panel in which I have an airspeed indicator and the ball repeater.
Yeah.
Controls, full and free movement. Ballast, we've got the ballast bars out, we don't need them. Straps, you strapped in okay, David?
Yes, strapped up.
So my instruments set for local flying. No flaps. Trim. 1, 2, the third slot. Let him start that engine before we put the canopy down, or we're going to boil. Okay, canopy coming down. And locked. Air brakes. Full travel. Have a swing round and look at them, show them. We're going to close them and lock them. Staying down. And opening up. Stable on tow. I've got it trimmed out at the moment and it stays there, hands off. It's moving a little bit, so you've got to mind it a bit. But, very stable on tow, no stick forces, kind of pushes away from level flight. Okay, it's very stable. I'm hands off now. It's flying on its own, maintaining 45 knots pretty well. We are just about holding our own at the moment. I've got my hands and feet on, very stable. I'm going to have a go at this elevator. Just going to ease forward, it's quite positive. I don't do anything very violent, but it's a nice positive control. I'm going to let the speed settle again. I'm going to roll it. There's quite a lot of adverse yaw to the roll. I'm moving the stick to the left. A lot of adverse yaw and side slip. And then of course a slipping turn towards the left. I wasn't using any rudder at all then. Right stick, we're rolling to the right, yawing to the left. So there's a lot of adverse yaw and therefore quite a need to be using the rudder in a balanced turn. Let's just have a look at the power of the rudder though. And push the rudder, left rudder. Yaw and quite a marked roll without using any aileron at all to further affect the rudder. Very powerful rudder. The controls are nicely harmonised. Turn back in towards the field for a moment. See if we get some lift on the way back. ain't got much of his wings left by the look of them. He better be good at soaring. I need to see the variometer out now. There it is. Not very strong. Can you move your arm down, up, sideways, widen your hand grip or something so I can see them? I need to see the variometer and I can't at the moment.
There?
Yeah, that's okay. Not very strong, is it? Let's go chase our feathered friend and see if he knows what he's doing. What does he know? He's got half his wings moving anyway. Well, we're not going up, we're out climbing him. I think I'm going to move back under this cumulus and rely on my own instincts. Aircraft very steady in the turn. I've got it trimmed now, and again, hands off. A little while anyway, 4 knots there. Quite good on air noises. No oil canning, nice and quiet. A lot quieter with that window shut, but we'll leave it open because it's a hot day. Just come round gently to the wingtip, if you like, very slowly and gradually. Come down a bit with the camera angle. Swing around and look at some of the cumulus around. It's pretty good in places. Check, no loose items in the cockpit. We're strapped in securely. I'm going to break away from this thermal and then have a good look for traffic underneath. Come out of the thermal towards the northeast for a moment and then do a clearing turn, and I'm going to look underneath us for traffic. Don't see anything around there. Swing around the other way and look underneath again. When you get out to the wingtip, just stay on it for a moment and we'll do a stall and let's look at the attitude at which it goes. Okay, I'm going to bring it gently back into the stall now. Getting right slow now, starting to get the buffet. Stick right back, there's the brake. Quite a nice brake. Okay, this time we'll provoke it a little further. As we come back through 40, stick right back full rudder, and here it goes over into the spin. Full opposite rudder, stick forward, centralise, ease it out of the back. It goes in and it comes out very nicely. Okay, look ahead again for a moment, David. And we'll do one looking ahead. Don't see any traffic around us, bringing the nose up. As the speed goes for about 40, on with the rudder and stick back. And there she goes, over into the spin engine. Full opposite rudder, stick forward and centralise, ease it out of the dive. And that bang that you heard was the trim adjuster coming out when I applied for the back elevator.
That was my knee hitting it.
Couldn't come in the slot properly. Okay. I'm going to run back on towards the field for a moment and see whether we get some more lift under this cloud again. Okay, I'm running the checks again, nothing loose, strapped in okay. You're strapped in okay, Liz?
Strapped in okay.
Okay, I'm going to have a look round for traffic. Don't see any there. Swing it round the other way. We go then, up and over the top. Do that all right? Yep. Okay, keep looking at that right wing tip a moment. Up we go. On with the rudder. Let it hang opposite aileron and let it swing through. And the other way. Nice control of that, very nice. Okay. Look ahead, take it over the top once more. Okay, now let's have a look at one of the other features of this aircraft, the air brakes. I'm going to set it up 55. Now that's clean. Now watch what happens when we open these brakes. Speed's dropped to 50 in fact at the moment. Now we've got it back to 55. Look at the angle of descent. Look at the variometer and see the rate at which we're coming down. Now I'm going to shut the air brakes off and watch the angle change and the rate of descent change. Very powerful air brakes. Coming on over the top of Ridgeland Airport now. Look out for traffic. I'm going to do a right hand pattern and land beside 2-1 on the grass. The undercarriage on this aircraft is permanently down, straps are tight. Speed to the approach speed and we are trimmed. Air brakes are functioning. Look out for traffic. Plenty of height at the moment, I'll just take it a little wider. Brakes coming out. Bring around into the downwind load. We're coming in quite high into the pattern, but these air brakes are really superb. About half brake out at the moment. That's what full brake's like, about half. I'm going to put them away for a second. Don't see any traffic on long final for 2-1, we seem to be clear. Okay, I'm going to turn base leg, give it a bit of brake. Turning quite high and quite close on purpose. Still no traffic on long final. Coming around onto final approach now. Using the brake to get us down short of the threshold of 2-1. We're going to land on the grass to the right. Flaring, holding it on, letting her flow. Okay, I'm up with a student now in the Krosno on tow. And I'm just going to swing round and let you look at the field of vision that you've got from this back seat. Excellent. You can see all the way around. I want to show you what it will do with these brakes out in the dive. Here we go. We'll pull the brakes out and it will come down very steeply. We are holding 75 knots at this angle. Now, and I'm going to side slip the aircraft and just show you how well it slips. And maintain the track to that building area, the other side of I-95, and I'm slipping to the left. And if you look out towards that jail that they're building, just left of the nose, you'll see that's where we're tracking to, though we're slipping left, and it's holding a good steady side slip. Keep the camera on that, and I'm going to roll out and centralise the controls. Now I'm going to do it to the right, rolling right, side slipping to the right. And perhaps look out for the front, look at the string, see the side slip that we're in. Okay, I'm going to roll it back out to level flight. Now of course the brakes are so powerful that this hardly ever needs the side slip, but you can see that it does it quite well. Okay, let's do a couple of steep turns on the way back in. Good look out to the right, and here we go. We've got with the air brakes on the aircraft. You look at the threshold of the runway for a moment, just swing it on round gently, and I'm going to turn round from here relatively high. Finals. They're still indicating 500 feet. And you can see those two, the sandy area with the two piles there. And I'm going to show you how the brakes control the glide path. We've got full brake out at the moment, and you can see those sandy areas are going well up the screen. I'm going to come off the brakes and then freeze that area between the two paths there. Bring it in at a steady angle. You can be very precise when you land the thing right into the gap between the two. Is the latest of the ones that's come out, and they've put a nose wheel on instead of the skid, and they have changed the braking system and improved it compared to the earlier one we were flying. This is looking at the spar of the end of the wing, and here the control connector. So I'm just going to go in on that a little closer. Okay, we're now looking at the control disconnect, and Ed's just going to move it for us. Open it up please, Ed. There it is, and it locks like that, and we need to press that little pin and then pull the sleeve back, and it uncovers those tangs there. And all of the controls like that, the air brakes, the ailerons, the elevator, and so on. This is where the wings go in from the outside, main spar going through that forward slot, and the control linkages going through the two holes, and there is the fitting for the drag spar attachment. This is looking into the cockpit with the seat out and showing the attachment points for the wing. We're just going to put the wings on this one. There's where the ends of the spar connect to there, and here's the control runs down underneath the seat, the finish under there. Pins going in now. The wing's been slid in from there.
Okay, tip down some more, tip down, down.
And these are expander bolts, which are going to be tightened by a torque wrench once we've got the rest of it together.
Okay, now I need you to just go up and down about 6 inches. Oh, down a little bit. Up a little bit more. Oh, right there.
Hello, Derek here, in the little cubby hole where I edit these films. The film that you've seen up until now was all shot at Ridgeland in South Carolina. We are now operating that nose wheel Krosno, and I must say they have fixed the brake as well, and it's made a very good aircraft into an excellent aircraft. The only shortcoming I've found with the aircraft since the original filming is that rigging and de-rigging the aircraft is a bit of a laborious, heavy job. It's not the sort of aircraft that you could put away in a trailer every day. It's pretty well got to remain rigged. It's not impossible to rig it and de-rig it, but it is a struggle and you need some fairly strong people. Since the original film, we've been up on our full mountain soaring camp in North Carolina in October of '93, and the rest of the film I'm going to fill up with shots of doing auto tows and so on in that lovely mountain valley, Andrews Murphy, North Carolina. Thank you. Bye.
Murphy Airport with the Krosno nose wheel equipped. Notice this has a CG hook, and we're about to do some normal auto tows off of this very nice runway. Derek Johnson flying from the rear seat with a student in the front seat.
That is a long tow rope.